Alright, now that we killed countless number of people out in the streets, it's time to head to the club. Tech Noir. I wonder if that's the sequel to LA Noir. Nah. Okay, this level is pretty interesting. For one, the music actually uses sound clips from the actual movies, which is pretty amusing. This level also has several light fixtures you can shoot down to kill enemies. However, you can get hit by them and they'll fall down if you run under them. There's also several electric frayed wires, I guess, that block your progress and you just have to time to get past them. And several monitors with some self-promoting of urgent games there. This club is clearly not very safe, as there are tons of, violent, gun-happy goons, several pit hazards, and wires everywhere, and light fixtures constantly falling down on people. Yeah, I don't know much about clubs in the 80s, but this I don't think would fly. And if there's only one minor problem I have with the controls in this game, is going up and down ladders can sometimes be a little finicky, because you have to be in the right position to go up and down them. Otherwise, you'll just stand there mashing down or up just to try and get up and down ladders. But it's not too bad, fortunately. And this level definitely relies on you to shoot down fixtures on enemies, as you can see. And there are actually quite a few power-ups and health hidden in, I don't know what they are, DJ boosts or something. And this club is also extremely large. It's like several floors tall. Well, it's just all part of the absurdity, I guess. It actually makes it quite fun. There are also several inclines, which I guess you could maybe interpret them as slides? I don't know. And there I go again with more platforming fail. Now, the odd thing with the level design here is that you can easily walk down the inclines again. So in order to walk on the level you just got up to, at least what I had to do is, it's best to just jump over the start of the incline, that way you don't go back down. It's a little weird, but easy to get, but it's not too bad to get used to. And there are several wires again in my way, and these light fixtures. Another minor problem with this game is if there's like things or enemies or something like that are like diagonally up from you, unless you're like up against a wall like that, you can't exactly stand still and get them. But I've already established how aiming and all that works, so there are definitely ways to work around it, fortunately. And we have more of these lovely ladder platforms that I love so much. And I always seem to miss the last one. Oh, one thing I should mention about the health kits. There are actually two types of health kits in this game. There's one that heal about 1 bar of health, and there's some that fully heal you. I think there are a slight difference between the two in terms of like color variations or something. And I like the moments in games like these where it's like the track of the music stops, then it has to like reload and start again. Good old early CD music. And this place also has several bartenders that will shoot at you, but they never will duck down and shoot at you, so you can just like shoot through them through the bar at their ankles to kill them, like I'm doing here. Yeah, the health packs I think that are flashing, at least in those colors, they can be. Those are the ones that fully heal you. Okay, now we just have more bar guys to deal with. Surprised they let those people behind the bar with them. Oh, and there's Sarah and some other guy. Don't worry, shooting them won't hurt them or anything. There's plenty of cameras or light fixtures or something. Uh-oh, there's Terminator. Now with this, I guess you could say boss fight, you're actually supposed to push them back to the end to complete the level. You can do that by throwing grenades and shooting them and shooting light fixtures down on him. And there we go. It surprised me the first time when I beat him. It was like just so abrupt. It's like, oh, I won? Okay. But it is actually supposed to be like you push him all the way back to the end of the level to win. So defend him off essentially. Loading, loading, and more loading. Okay, now we got to the point where Kyle and Sarah are actually being chased by the Terminator. That explosion was convenient. And if we were playing another version of the Terminator, we probably would have had a car driving level, but fortunately we don't. Instead we just get this highly edited, compressed FMV scene from the movie. Oh yeah, good idea, Kyle, just shoot the police officer. Or wait, or was the Terminator in that cop car? I forget. Either way, Kyle got caught. His GTA days are over there. And now we're in the police station, and that guy right away threw a knife at me in my face. Lovely. Thankfully, despite being caught by the police, we still have all of our weapons, and we can just go from the cells. Now, enemies in the cell area I can understand in the police station, but when we get up to the other levels of the actual police station, there are still street gang members and goons and punks all over the place in the police station. I guess they got loose or something, but even then you don't see any officers. Well, I guess the Terminator killed them all, but whatever. And deal with him. And the police station has also fallen under high decay, as there are many holes and things everywhere. Again, maybe the Terminator did it all. A little excessive maybe to blow up like half the police station, but whatever works. And of course it's just, you know, simple game logic really with level design. And we have this pretty funky music that kind of reminds me of like something from like a 50s diner or something. Which makes this level actually all the more amusing, really. Okay, now we'll just take this lift up into the actual levels of the police station. Also, one thing to note, the farther you go in the game, the more hits enemies will take. And oh, there's the Terminator there. You can't kill the Terminator, obviously. You can only stun them with like grenades and shooting them enough times. And oh, yeah, that's what happens when you go up to the Terminator. You'll die instantly, even when you have the invulnerability power up. So it's not really worth to go over there to fight him. He does appear in other places around the police station, though. So one way or another, you are going to have to fight him. And down here is some hidden power-ups, which is pretty cool. And like the Tech Noir level, there are several exposed wires in your way that you have to watch out and just time your jumps through. There's also several panels you can shoot, though, to stop the wires. Here you can just duck to shoot straight ahead on the staircase to blow that one up. So some of the exposed wires you can actually get rid of by shooting the panels. Because, you know, despite the fact that the entire PlayStation already has power to begin with still. But I guess that's just different isolated powers, sources, or whatever. And just like the club, this place is a pretty large police station. And sometimes I get a little too reckless with those exposed wires, and it's easy to get hit multiple times because of, you know, Kyle's lack of invulnerability time. But eventually you'll come across Sarah again here, and the Terminator once more. My strategy is pretty simple with him. Just chuck a bunch of pipe bombs at him and Sarah, you keep coming? And uh-oh. I'm sure she'll be alright. It's not like we can get game over or something, right? Well, thankfully you don't. You can actually just keep going from here, and you'll eventually catch up with her again. Because, see? Oh, look, she's magically here now. Of course, we have to get through the parking garage and face him one more time. Again, just chuck a bunch of grenades so you can fall down and grunt past him, and there we go. Okay, now we're at the point in the movie where the Terminator is pretty much after them in this giant fuel truck, but thankfully Kyle put a pipe bomb in it to cause it to explode. But of course, if you remember the movie, that doesn't fully stop him. And now the Terminator is a exposed Terminator, pretty much. All of his bioorganic stuff is gone now, and he's just a shambling Terminator after them. One thing I should mention in this is that Kyle Reese is actually injured here, as you can see. But we'll soon find out that that doesn't really matter. See, we're now in the factory and Kyle is still just running around just fine. This level has several things that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but at this point we needed some kind of semblance of enemies. So there's like these little robots or something, factory droids or something. There's also gun turrets everywhere. I don't know, it seems like security is a bit absurd in 1980s factories or whatever, but what do I know? I mean, I was born in the 80s, but I don't remember everything from it. This level is actually pretty difficult because enemy placement of turrets are kind of a bit of a bitch to deal with, and there's also these rolling robot things that can take a lot of damage, and they can dish out a lot of damage on you. And my pipe bombs don't work here because the staircase is blocking it. Perspectives, how do they work? But thankfully we can kill that one with pipe bombs. And we now have another new gun, which you shoot fireballs. Not sure what kind of standard issue weapon lets you shoot fireballs like that, because it's not really it's not a standard flamethrower or anything, but whatever. It is the most powerful gun in the game at this point, so, or the most powerful game you can attain in the entire game, rather. And it takes care of robots and everything much easier, but they can still be a nuisance in this level. So yeah, there's lots of conveyor belts, and those boxes you have to jump on. They'll fall down, but they'll respawn even if you like miss jumping off of them or something. There we go. Now we can take care of those robots a bit more easier. And the funny thing is, you can actually go behind those spotlights there, and you can actually fire your gun through it. It's, again, kind of a funny thing on perspective there. I'm not sure how exactly it works, but, you know, whatever, it blocks. It's essentially taking cover, but at the same time being able to shoot through it. Poke your gun through it and shoot the robots on the other side. But hey, whatever works. Now this level also has several lava pits there, and if you fall into them you die instantly. There's also several conveyor belts with scrap metal heaps that'll drop down. They can hurt you, but not that much. But they're still a little bit annoying to circumnavigate over. And jeez, taking a lot of damage from all this stuff. I forget exactly what kind of factory this is. Even so, what exactly do they make here? Because if I were going by the game, there's not really anything they're making particularly. It's just like, I don't know, it's just like a steel mill or something, like Terminator 2. Or I think the manual said it was like a cybernet company or something like that. I don't know. And yeah, I only had like 1 pixel of health and I died from that thing. Lovely. This time I'm gonna go over here. And that thing's not coming my way, so I overshot that pipe bomb from all the way over there. So we'll have to adjust our trajectory accordingly, and there we go. The turrets are pretty annoying to deal with in this level because they're always placed in angles where you can't exactly stand still and shoot them. That becomes quite a problem later on, but nothing I can't really handle. So, and like there and all that, and you have to deal with standing in between all this piles of metal here, and didn't grab the ladder there, Kyle. And we have more of this platforming, which thankfully I've gotten better at this point and gotten through. Okay, come on, go down the ladder. There we go. Still having a little bit of issues going up and down ladders at times, but at least it's not killing me or anything. And we have to climb our way up these conveyor belts, and you think you wouldn't make this jump because it doesn't look because it looks too high, but you can actually, which is kind of funny to me. And more conveyor belt riding while trying to avoid gun turret fires and scrap metal heaps and all this stuff. And I don't know why I did that jump there. That was pretty stupid. But this time, let's go over here, and yeah, now we gotta deal with turrets and moving platforms and molten steel pits, and oh, it's quite nerve-wracking because you know it's instant death if you fuck up essentially. And I can't quite aim that. Yeah, grenades not gonna help. You can't toss grenades. You can only drop grenades when you're hanging off of ladders. And gotta deal with more of this stuff. Yeah, it's best to just run past this stuff here. And now we have this thing, which is like a boss. It's like a crane that produces these robot things, and we already blew it up, and that's the end of the level. Okay, next up is another factory level, and that's actually the final level of the game. And it's a doozy, but you'll see why.